Morning everyone. Maths time. Time to build on what we've been learning so far and take it that next step further. And this is a step that can be a little bit tricky, so we're going to start off nice and gentle today. Right, first of all, I'm going to set you a challenge. I'm going to give you a problem. I'm going to pose the problem and I want you to draw it for me. So when I tell you, after I've explained it, I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at drawing this in your book, please. So on Friday night, there were 2 3/4 of adult-only special Ribena in the cupboard. Okay, 2 3/4 bottles. Now, Steve and I drank 1 1/4 bottles between us. How much did we have left? So we started off with 2 3/4 bottles. We drank 1 1/4. How much did we have left? I'm sure you can work it out in your heads, but I want you to draw it for me because I want to see what you draw afterwards as well. So pause me and come back to me when you're ready. Okay, I will show you how I'm going to draw this, and I'm literally going to draw bottles. So one bottle, 2 bottles, and I need to draw another one even though I didn't have a full one. 3 bottles. Now I only want 2 3/4, so I'm going to divide that one roughly into quarters, and I didn't have that. Okay, so I've got 1, 2 whole bottles and 3/4. Now I'm going to take away 1 1/4. So I'm going to write this down as we go. 2 3/4. Now, we know the calculation. We're taking away 1 1/4. That bit's straightforward, but it's the next bit that gets a little bit tricky. Right, so I'm going to take away 1 whole bottle, and I'm going to take away another quarter. So you can see we're left with 1 2/4, or 1 1/2. And I'm just going to jot that. Right, so how do we transfer that into a written calculation? We know that 2 3/4 is 2 plus 3/4. So far, so good. We know we're subtracting. Now, this 1 1/4 comes together. So when we're adding, we would write plus 1 plus 1/4. But we're subtracting, and we're subtracting both parts of it. So there's the 1 that we subtracted. I also subtracted that quarter. I didn't add it on, I subtracted it. So you need to be very careful that you don't fall into the trap of writing 2 plus 3/4 minus 1 plus 3/4, because that would say you were taking 1 away and then you were adding 3/4 back on, and we want to subtract the complete 1 1/4. Sorry, so we take away the 1 and we take away the quarter. Right, we can start gathering our terms together. So let's gather our integers. 2 minus 1, because you can see the sign immediately before the number goes with it. So 2 minus 1 gives us 1. And then we're adding 3/4 and we're subtracting, because that one goes together. I'm going to put circles around those. We're subtracting a quarter. Okay, so we can see that we're left with 1 3/4 minus 1/4 is 2/4. And you can, of course, simplify that to a half, but you don't have to. That's not off the focus of our learning today at all. Okay, so you might need to just think really carefully at each step. Which parts am I actually taking away? Which parts am I subtracting? I'm going to do another couple of examples just so it's really clear. Now, when you lay it out in your books, you need to follow my model. Some people I've noticed are going off on a little bit of a tangent and taking shortcuts, but not following the overall structure. Now, we do it so that we can use it in future learning, okay? So it must resemble mine. It must follow the same key steps. Oops, squeaky pen. Okay, so my next one, I'm going to do 3 2/3, and I am going to subtract 1 1/3. Right, so I've got 3 plus 2/3, and I'm subtracting 1 whole, and I'm subtracting 1/3. So we can see all together I'm subtracting 1 1/3. So if we pull that together, we've got 3 minus 1 is 2. 2/3 minus 1/3 is 1/3. So I have cut some of the steps out, because once we get to that point, I think you can see quite clearly, because we're using the same denominators today. The bit we're really focusing on is making sure you're subtracting both parts of the mixed number. One more, and then I will leave you to have a go. Change pen again so it's really clear, and I'm going to do 2 3/5 minus 1 1/5. So that's 2 plus 3/5, and I'm going to subtract the 1. That's the whole number part of my mixed number, and I'm going to subtract the 5th. So I've got minus 1 minus a 5th. So if we pull that together, 2 minus 1 is 1, and 3/5 minus 1/5 is 2/5. Okay, if you've got any problems, let me know. You've all got your own channels if you want to message me personally, if you don't want to put it on the chat. Although we're all really supportive, but feel free to do it that way if you prefer, or if you want just a little bit of extra support on anything we're doing. Right, over to you. You've got this. You can do it. See you for more maths tomorrow. Bye.